Hello Mobile Legends community, I'm an artist and I'm going to be rating Mobile Legends Heroes design. This is the second and the final part of rating mage designs. Let's dive right into it. Harley. The design is okay, but the visual doesn't reflect his time manipulation at all. It's basically just a catboy, nothing more. At least the mage look is clean, not really unique either. The color palette is clean and cool, but it feels like they didn't put much effort into it. Visual, 3 out of 10. Uniqueness, 3 out of 10. Color palette, 4 out of 10. Overall, 3.5 out of 10. Selena, solid visual that fits her theme. You can clearly tell she's a demon. Iconic design, even if the concept isn't new, she still feels unique. The color palette totally fits and makes her pop. They could tweak her outfit a bit. She has a lot of potential. Visual, 8 out of 10. Uniqueness, 6 out of 10. Color palette, 6 out of 10. Overall, 6.5 out of 10. Veil. His design gives off a cool, menacing, and divine aura. I love the runes on his clothes. Not super unique though. I mistook him for a sun mage instead of wind because of the accessories and golden yellow magic. The color palette fits but feels too safe. Needs more distinctive elements. Visual, 5 out of 10. Uniqueness, 5 out of 10. Color palette, 5 out of 10. Overall, 5 out of 10. Harley, solid visual. You can instantly tell he's a magic type, but it doesn't have any storytelling at all. Why is a kid in a casino? He needs a redesign. That goofy hat, isn't it? Feels more like a circus magician than royalty. The color palette is cool though. Visual, 6 out of 10. Uniqueness, 3 out of 10. Color palette, 7 out of 10. Overall, 5.5 out of 10. Odette. She's got that mage princess look down. The swan theme fits her personality, but it feels a bit outdated, not unique. Just another fantasy mage. The color palette is perfect, a classic white, blue, and gold mix, fitting her as Swan Princess. With some tweaks to the outfit, she could really shine. Visual, 6 out of 10. Uniqueness, 3 out of 10. Color palette, 8 out of 10. Overall, 6 out of 10. Roxana. El nah, they ruined her. Her visual is bland, and her outfit doesn't suit her at all. She's supposed to be a queen. Uniqueness is gone. She's just humanized now with no real effort. The color palette is all over the place and doesn't fit her vibe. Extremely disappointing rework. Visual, 2 out of 10. Uniqueness, 1 out of 10. Color palette, 1 out of 10. Overall, 1 out of 10. Kagura. Great visuals and storytelling. Love the little details, the flowers, the bell, and her umbrella. She's not super unique, but still adds charm and variety to her roster. The color palette is soft and colorful and fits her vibe. A few small tweaks would elevate her. Visual, 8 out of 10. Uniqueness, 6 out of 10. Color palette, 8 out of 10. Overall, 7.5 out of 10. Lunox. Good concept and design. The mage's identity is clear, though storytelling is a bit lacking. I love the harmony between chaos and light. Really well symbolized, but still not very unique. The color palette works but feels a bit off. A solid rework could really unlock her potential. Visual, 5 out of 10. Uniqueness, 6 out of 10. Color palette, 6 out of 10. Overall, 5.5 out of 10. Jask. Solid design, good visual. The alien invasion concept is nailed perfectly. They really put some effort on that texture and design. Not that unique though, seen similar stuff before. The color palette fits the alien vibe well, still pretty cool overall. Visual, 7 out of 10. Uniqueness, 5 out of 10. Color palette, 7 out of 10. Overall, 6.5 out of 10. Valia. Classic fire mage design. The visual is clean but feels kind of generic. Not super unique, but still cool. I like the details they put on his design. The color palette fits the fire theme well, feels solid as is. Visual, 7 out of 10. Uniqueness, 6 out of 10. Color palette, 7 out of 10. Overall, 6.5 out of 10. Farsa, love her concept and visual. You can clearly tell she's a mage. The white bird contrasts nicely with the black outfit, and the eyepiece is a cool touch. Not the most unique, but still feels fresh. The color palette is great. Black, red, and white work really well. Visual, 9 out of 10. Uniqueness, 7 out of 10. Color palette, 9 out of 10. Overall, 8.5 out of 10. No Valia. Solid visual, but lacks storytelling and detail. Cool futuristic concept though. Not that unique, but she has depth. I like the engraved rock textures. The color palette feels too dull, even with the pink hair contrast. Could use a more vibrant scheme. Visual, 5 out of 10. Uniqueness, 5 out of 10. Color palette, 3 out of 10. Overall, 4 out of 10. Chang. Great visual with clean details and solid image design. It feels too generic and bland though. Even if it's based on Chinese myth, it lacks effort. The rabbit is cute but doesn't save it. The color palette is fresh with green, white and a glowing moon. Love that. Visual, 7 out of 10. Uniqueness, 5 out of 10. Color palette, 8 out of 10. Overall, 7 out of 10. JXin, I love this. Great visual and concept. The butterflies and lantern weapon are fire. Not super unique though, and the theme is kind of overdone. The color palette is nice. Black, red and pops of purple. Her outfit feels a bit too generic though. It needs tweaks. Visual, 7 out of 10. Uniqueness, 6.5 out of 10. Color palette, 7 out of 10. Overall, 7 out of 10. Anyways, that's all from Mage Designs. I had a tight schedule and couldn't upload consistently. These are just my personal opinions. Feel free to share yours in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Love y'all. Thanks.